3 years ago, a fine historian and writer wrote me that slavery was America's greatest civic sin. I replied that slavery was an abomination, but that in terms of numbers and finality, it wasn't America's greatest civic sin. On a hike later that afternoon, I imagined a graveside conversation between a Confederate soldier, long dead, and a young modern woman. She chastises him for what he did. Then he questions her about what we do today. That idea turned into this story that I call Speck and Beam. It pleases her most to come alone when sundown fires fall's last russet leaves, and slanting rays trace and warm his gravestone, where no one these days pauses or grieves. "Why after so long do you seek me here?" he asked, since she claimed no kinfolk to be. "In death I've been sleeping 80 years. Has my eye speck left you helpless to see?" She asked how he fell to such grievous sin, to believe that he should possess a man. In doing so he sowed a great wind, reaped what he sowed, staining this land. At 45 I joined Company C. My neighbors and I would do our part. I volunteered, I was no draftee. Then sickness stilled my beating heart. "Why did you serve? Was it really your fight? You had much to lose, so little to gain. Did you think your cause somehow upright? Looked your man in the eye, missing his pain?" "I did my duty from March until May, leaving farm toil to my children and wife. They tilled and planted those 60 days, alongside one man I owned in my life." Your leaders built poorly to unsound heights, and misguided phrases shrouded their speech, yielding nightmare tears. They spoke of state rights, set created equal further from reach. Were I taught then as you've been taught, I might have believed as you do today. You'd have done better than I, no doubt, or mayhap not, were you raised my way. Even now you don't see blood on your hand. Your way of life turned morality's flank. Chaining men was wrong, please understand that speck in your eye was a dreadful plank. You measure past evil by perfect hindsight. Perceiving one's own is harder to do. Of evil in your day I'll shed some light, and prove our ideals are as one, not two. As I did, you pursue life and liberty, cloaking your freedom in terms of choice. Your generation venerates cruelty. Your freedom eternally hushes a voice. Yes, I hushed a voice years ago. Like a slave of old, she was my property. Her name they counseled to never bestow, nor lay in a grave, my commodity. I see you didn't come to accuse, but hoping to find some resolution. Our consciences sear for that which we choose, denying forgiveness and absolution. My freedom to choose meant her demise. My rights put him in bondage and chains. We did what seemed right in our own eyes. Each generation has its Abels and Cains. I didn't understand the hurt I had done. Young miss, you weren't the only one.